Okay, recording. I guess first of all, I just wanted to thank you guys for being on. I know everybody has busy schedules, and the fact that we pulled this off so quickly is exciting. And I was sharing with Amber, I really don't feel like this is the ideal time to be doing this. I feel like each one of us, from what I've heard, is struggling quite a bit. And so I don't think it's the ideal time, but I do think it's the right time. I'm kind of excited about it because I feel like in putting this together and in working together with you guys, we're all going to help each other along with the things that we're just struggling with day to day. And I think we're going to be able to, I was sharing with Amber, sometimes, I know like for me, I've been right back to some of my old struggles that I haven't faced in a really, really long time, but it puts me a whole lot more in touch with what it feels like. And so I think that will help us be able to relate to what people are struggling with, and hopefully be able to put together something of real good quality that will help people. So I thought, and I want to make sure that when we're doing this, that we honor our time and stay pretty focused. I think we could talk for hours and hours and hours. So I kind of wanted to make an outline of what I'm hoping to accomplish, and then we'll kind of figure out next steps. But I'm hoping, first of all, that we can just kind of establish, like, what is our mission? What are we hoping to accomplish by joining together? I also think we need to set some ground rules for, I know one of the big hesitations I've had with even opening the door on this is, I'm not a professional. I'm not a therapist. I'm not a doctor. And that, frankly, terrifies me of getting in over my head with somebody's challenges. So I think we're going to have to figure out a way to set some kind of guidelines of, explaining what our role is and when people need to know that they need help beyond us. Because I think there are times where that's very appropriate. Mm-hmm. And that is something that I think is important. The other thing I want to talk about is kind of what our progression is. Like I kind of feel like maybe we ought to offer something in the beginning that is like a free challenge to kind of gather people and let people express interest and get to know us, and then how we move that from being free into a paid challenge. And then if we haven't run out of time by then, talk a little bit about content as far as what we want to include, and then kind of a timeline. And even if we don't get all the way that far, of just talking about like what our next step is. So I think right now I'd like to just open it up for discussion on, like, what do we think our mission is? Does anybody have something? Amber, I know you kind of have some things, but I'd love to hear also from Crystal and Leslie just on what you're thinking. And then what we may find is each one of us has a little bit different mission, and we can either make it something that we can kind of each take our own direction, or figure out a unified mission. So, thoughts?
I think for me, I feel like if I can help others, I can help myself type of thing. But I don't know that that's a mission, but I feel like when I think of this whole thing, that's where I see myself in it, I guess.
No, and I love that. I actually, I think it was a Bible study that I was doing, but it was talking about how so much can be solved when we take the focus off of ourselves and our own stuff. Right. A lot of times when we get out there and we serve and we help other people, our own stuff doesn't seem so overwhelming because we're just not focused on it all the time. And I feel like I agree with you that, like, for me, in trying to help other people, when I research things, like, in preparation for this, I started looking at just some ideas, and I came across the fact that one of our Shakeology ingredients, it's the thing that I posted today about it helping with depression and mood. So, I mean, it's one of those things that I'm like, aha, no wonder my Shakeology works, and it just motivates me to want to stick with it. I think in helping others, we definitely learn things and we grow, for sure. So I love that.
So I think for me, oh, sorry.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
So I think for me, it's letting people know, and I think I said this in the message, that there's still a stigma attached to depression and what it's like for people, and to let people know that A, it's okay to talk about, B, that there are safe places to be, and that you're not alone in the world when it comes to this. And, you know, my mission would be to let people know all of that, but give them that self-confidence piece that I always talk about, to be open with the world about, hey, I have this. It's okay. It's not it's going on with me, but it doesn't define me. It doesn't define who I am. But I need, you know, to have that open conversation with people of, like, I need your help. I can't do this alone. So I guess in my realm, it's to give that self-confidence for people to talk to other people close to them about what's going on.
Okay.
So I think acknowledgement is first and foremost, and acceptance is the part of the key to healing.
Well, and I think you hit it right on the head. I think so many people stay silent about it because of that stigma, you know, and it's like the thing that I learn more and more and more as I work with people is the people that are struggling with depression are high achievers. They are awesome people that are doing amazing things that typically put a tremendous amount of pressure on themselves. It's not a bunch of people that are slacking, you know, sitting around doing nothing. You know, it's people that are really trying to do a lot. And so I think, yeah, you know, helping to remove that stigma of, you know, we don't have to do it all alone, and it's okay to ask for help.
And I kind of agree with what you're saying, Susie. And I also do know, though, I wouldn't call them slackers for sure, but I do know that there are people that struggle with depression that aren't necessarily overachieving, that aren't doing any kind of achievement and it could be like this, you know, because they're depressed, they're not, and it could be because they're depressed, like there's a cycle to it. But I do know people who are severely depressed that are like living in their parents' basement and have no job and have no relationship. Like, so there is some of that too, that of people that are struggling with depression that have that too. And so I guess I would just, one of my big things I would just throw out is that we have to just be careful not to try and
classify it as one thing.
Yeah. But you're right. There are a lot of people, and I am one of those overachieving people who struggles with, I really don't struggle with depression. I struggle with anxiety, but it's a form of depression. So you can put me in that envelope too.
Yeah. In my case, like, I'm a go-getter and I go out, but when my depression really kind of hit its peak, I didn't want to get out of bed. I didn't want to do anything, and that's total opposite of what I am. So I think you're right. I think there's a lot of people that have that potential, but they don't have the self-worth. And if we can create that self-worth in people, that they are worthy of everything they don't think that they're worthy of, it's a start in the right direction.
Well, I think, you know, kind of along the lines of what you're saying, Amber, is I think some people don't have the tools or just even know how to combat it, right? I mean, they don't even know how to take the steps to reverse where they're at. What? Leslie, were you going to say something? I thought you had something to say.
No.
Okay.
My husband was leaving, so I was saying bye.
Okay. You know, but you guys bring up a good point, is we may need to either define or distinguish when we're talking about depression and anxiety, you know, and I guess I don't have the medical background to necessarily know. I know what anxiety feels like, but I also know that when my anxiety gets really high, I can get really down, and I guess I don't know, like, I've never been diagnosed with depression, but I definitely know there are times where I'm very depressed.
Technically, depression. Well, Leslie, do you have a degree in psychology?
No, sociology, but I did work.
I was like, I took some.
I was a counselor with kids for like 5 years before, so I do have history and all of that.
because I only taken a couple classes in psych, so if you want to speak to this, you have probably more experience than I do with the difference. I mean, isn't depression like the overarching category and anxiety is underneath it as a form of depression?
Yes and no. Like when it's medicated, you use the same medications to medicate it. So in that sense, it is similar chemicals that are working and creating them. But I think a lot of it has to do with the cause, like things that cause depression don't necessarily cause anxiety, and things that cause anxiety aren't going to necessarily cause depression. I mean, we all have our own histories and things that happen in our life that can help contribute to both of those. So I think it's hard to completely define them and even separate them, because they are, especially among women, so close-knit.
So are we doing it justice if we just kind of lump it into one category of depression and anxiety, or is that not?
I think that's okay. And as long, I like that you put it together, and anxiety, because some people care about distinguishing that. Like I say that I have suffered from postpartum depression, even though, I have the anxiety. Yeah, but so I don't care about the term, but I think some people might. So I like that you put the and in there. I think that's good.
Okay, so maybe we just address it as an and, because I don't feel like, it's not up to us to even try to diagnose or guess or whatever. Our role is to try to help people live better lives by giving them tools to, obviously we're going to give them natural ways of dealing with it. If it's a situation where they need medical intervention, then they should be seeing a doctor.
Mm-hmm.
Who's good with words? I'm not very good with words, but I think we ought to try
Kathleen.
to put that all into
Kathleen's awesome.
So I have the idea of helping. I can help myself if I help others. And I wonder, Crystal talked about the stigma with depression, creating a safe place, that you're not alone, and self-confidence. And I think that's all good. So we just have to figure out how to pull that all together in a nice, neat little package. And we could, if you want, I could just make all of those notes, and we could spend some time, maybe each one of us kind of throwing something together, and we could message back and forth. Because I feel like a mission is something that you want to get right.
Right.
Don't just throw something down on paper so we can move on to the next topic. But I feel like we have kind of the ideas if we can now put it into a concise idea.
Right.
Sound good? Okay. So we'll start working on messaging that. And I'm thinking, Leslie, you might even be able to give us some advice on how to set those ground rules, because I do feel like we want people to know that we're there for them, but we also want them to know that, if things get scary, we want them to go get the help they need.
Well, I think when you lay those ground rules, it's, look, we are here as a group to give you the tools to help you along, to be a support for you. But if you start saying, or we start noticing other things, like we're going to reach out to you and tell you, like, you need to get medical help. Like, we're not
Sorry,
medical professionals, we're not anything like that. Just needs to be disclosed very clearly that we're not here for those reasons.
So who are the people that we're reaching now? Are we reaching people that already are like self-admitting that they're depressed? That's the thing that I want to know, because I don't necessarily know that I do feel qualified in any way, shape, or form to help these people. I feel like the only thing that I am qualified to do is to just help them to talk about it, I guess.
Right.
And to help them know they're not alone. And so
Right.
I feel like we're almost like the things that you guys are talking about right now are like almost so far beyond, like, of course they wouldn't think that, because I'm not going to be professing any kind of fix or cure. I'm going to just say, hey, here's a place where we're all going to like live authentically, and I'm going to talk about my struggles, and I'm going to talk about how, you know, exercise and Shakeology and nutrition have helped me. I'm not saying I know they'll help you. I'm saying every person's different, but here's some things that I would hope that you just try and could see. So I don't know. I just wanted to slow down a little bit, because I don't want people to come in to a group that I'm a part of thinking that I'm going to fix their depression,
Right.
because I can't. And I don't know. I just wanted to throw that out there, because I don't know.
No, and
I feel like we're getting.
that's exactly where I'm going with this. Is I just feel like we need to make sure we're very clear with that expectation up front. Like, we are not here to fix your problem.
Mhm.
We are people that are functioning, that we are finding ways to, you know, to try to make better ourselves, be the best version of ourselves, but we are not here to fix anything. I guess I just felt like, number one, for liability reasons, I think we need to make sure that it's very clearly disclosed. And I have run into a situation with a challenger that I was working with, that I literally had to say to her, like, I couldn't anymore. And I was like, you need to go get counseling. And I feel like that needs to be a very understood thing of, like, we love you and we're not, you know, we're here for you, but there may come a time where we just suggest that you go get qualified help. You know,
I feel like
you
any
have
person that is going to be in our group should, like, instead of us suggesting it eventually, that we should like almost suggest that from the beginning, that
Right.
if you're going to be in the group as a person as self-proclaimed struggling with depression, then we really do recommend counseling and medication, and here's some other things that we're doing that are helping as well on top of that. Like, I don't know.
Behavioral therapy.
well, and I guess I would say, like, I think there are a lot of people out there that struggle, that maybe haven't come to grips with the terms depression or anxiety, that still could benefit just because they struggle. And I feel like, I guess I would say, I feel like everybody's situation is different. I have a family member that absolutely medication was necessary. Like, it was very necessary. I don't think this person would be here if it weren't for the medication. So I'm not anti-medication, but I also know for myself, I've been able to manage it without. And so I don't necessarily think that we want to say that one thing is the answer. You know, but I agree that, you know, maybe what we say is something to the effect of, we are going to encourage you to use all the resources available to you. Be it counseling, be it, you know, medication, whatever fits your particular situation. And we're going to be a community that supports you with whatever approach you decide to take, whatever approach you feel like is best for your situation. Does that make sense?
Yes. I just don't feel like I can be the one to like make the call at some point that like, hey, you should go get counseling, you should get on medication. It was that caveat that kind of, that like making that call later was the part that, you know, I totally get from liability why that would need to be said. And I get that not everyone necessarily would need that from the very beginning. But I don't think it's something that we can like make as a call on an individual basis later on for the person. You know
No,
what I'm saying?
but it would be our responsibility, just with anybody else that is coming in, like a family member or friend, or even at the school, people I work with or other students. Like, if I see something that could be detrimental to their health, I need to tell somebody. So if we start seeing things, and I mean, this is going way above and beyond, and I doubt that will even happen, but you have to be prepared for anything like that to come up, because you don't know. We are going to come from a place of people being authentic, and some people will just bleh, everything, and at some point we have to have some responsibility to be like, we like Susie with her Challenger, we love you, but what you are needing right now is beyond what we can do. Something to that effect.
I agree with what you're saying. I guess, and Amber, maybe, I guess where I think we're coming from, or at least where I'm coming from, is that we set an expectation up front that it is the responsibility of the person to know if they need to go get help. I don't feel like it's our call at all. Like I don't have any training to know how to even spot that. But I also feel like maybe we create the understanding that we may, if we feel like we've tried everything we can, that we may go to this person and say, we care about you, but we've reached the end of what we know to do to help you. I don't know.
How do you even know that?
Leslie, you're quiet over there. I'd love to know what you're thinking.
I don't.
It's all too close to diagnosis.
I feel like I see both sides, and I guess I'm curious. Are we presenting it more as not so much ground rules, but just like a description of what we're presenting? I mean, I don't know. I worry if we bring up too much of the dealing with. I mean, we don't want to turn it into like a Facebook psychology support group, I'm assuming.
Right.
Like, I imagine
the energy for it. It will drain the life out of me.
Right. Like, I imagine things will come up, but it would be very overwhelming to every day be talking about issues of divorce or whatever someone's personal history is, those types of things. I don't know. I guess it's such a broad topic that we're encompassing. So how do we keep it on track, I guess, is where.
Well, you made me think, what we typically do in our regular challenge groups is just set expectations up front of, here's what we expect out of you, and here's what you can expect out of us. And maybe we just do that up front of, here's what you can expect from us. You can expect, ideas, support, this, that, we can say, our expectations are that you be authentic, but that you keep things positive and that you seek help when you need it. I guess your comment made me think, so I'm part of an infertility group on Facebook, and I literally can't, I wanted to be supportive, I wanted to contribute and be helpful in there. I can't even go in there because it's such a rant session and a complaint session and a woe is me that I literally can't even open up the page. So I do think we need to set maybe just expectations up front. And maybe we don't call them ground rules, but just expectations on both sides.
I would probably be okay with that. It really depends on how it all looks, but I think that sounds better to me than what we were talking about earlier. So, Thank you for working through that with me.
No, I really feel like this piece of it, while it seems really kind of just technical, is super important because it's going to set the tone for our group. Mm-hmm. And I feel like if you've ever been in a relationship where you're constantly picking somebody else up, it just drains you, versus a relationship where you guys are both helping each other along, right? I mean,
sorry, yes, that my husband brought me a beer because I decided I really needed one. I'm already dizzy though, so this could be really bad. Crystal, I'm off my anxiety meds on accident, so I just got back on them, but I'm like crazy vertigo, so I just feel like you're the only one here that doesn't know that. So if I start doing something stupid, that's why, okay? Anyway.
Oh, you're fine, you're fine.
Okay, so
hey, I have an idea. can we circle back to the goal for a second? I've been kind of piecing it out, and I feel like, what do you guys think about something along the lines of like, this is a safe place where we will be authentic, gain tools to support our emotional health, and help others to do the same? I just to do this. You want me to say that again?
I like that you put
I
it
just
as
felt
a
like I
positive.
wanted to have a point, like what are we doing before I can go on, because this is Susie's vision, which is different than my vision. It's just like from where we're coming from. So I just want to make sure that we're all really on the same page as like what we're going to do with this thing. So that's something that I kind of pulled from the quotes that I wrote down from Leslie. And is this backwards or is this right?
It's right.
That's right. Yeah.
Okay. Do you guys want to see that sentence again, or do you want to read it again?
The only thing I love what you came up with. Is there a way we can incorporate the self-confidence in there?
Yes. I couldn't remember those words. That is the other thing. Gain tools to support our emotional health and self-confidence. Tools to increase our self-confidence, support our emotional health, and help others to do the same.
I like it. Well,
Okay.
and Amber, just maybe to back up too, because I want to make sure, like I do feel like it was my vision to get the ball rolling here. But
Okay.
I don't want all of us carrying out my vision. I feel like we have enough common ground that I feel like we can come up with a really great vision together. So I want to make sure that it's everybody's vision and not just mine.
Oh, I appreciate you. I totally get it. I'm just saying that, like, this is something that God really put on your heart to do, and so you initiated this. And I have my Mom's Strong tribe, which is where this is a huge piece of it. And so my whole point with Mom's Strong is just always that everyone, that they learn to find their voice and that they learn that they're not alone. And so, like, those are my two things, and I am posting a lot about health and nutrition because that's how I have helped myself cope with these things. But that's not my point. My point is, find your voice and you're not alone. And so I want to make sure that, figure out how we're going to blend that. Like, is this going to be about the communication piece and the partnerships? Is it more about the focus of health and nutrition and Beachbody? Is it any ideas to help with depression? Like what are we doing with it? So I don't know.
And I guess I feel like, I want it to be about more than just Beachbody, because I feel like we're going to appeal to kind of the broad audience and then share that Beachbody is one of the ways that has helped, right? Because I feel like for me, it's more than just the nutrition and exercise. I mean, those are really key components. But like for me right now, for the last month, I haven't really been able to exercise. So I have had to find other ways to deal, and so I think sharing things like, okay, when we're talking about nutrition, here's some clean eating things that we do that help. There's this shake that we drink, and here are the ingredients that help with, And so I think leaving it in, I guess I was kind of feeling like maybe we kind of share different things and then move it into a challenge group that's going to focus on exercise, nutrition, but then also those additional tools, Because I think we probably each have some other things to bring to the table besides just nutrition and exercise.
No, that's all I got. Just kidding.
I had to get creative this last month because I usually work it out in the gym.
Yeah. I can give you a sledgehammer, not anymore, a mudding and taping trowel, and you can come to my house and work in my house.
I've actually done taping, and no thank you.
Yeah. I've been doing it for a month now. I'm a little over it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So I feel like Amber, will you share with us, like, will you send out what you wrote down? Because I like that.
Yeah, it's just basically trying to summarize what they said, and I really like it. I'm on board with it for sure.
Okay. And I think we'll all kind of look at it. There might be like minor things that everybody gives feedback on, but I like it.
Okay.
I think that helps. And then, so the time has flown by. I think we have like 10 minutes left on our call before it cuts us off. And I kind of do that on purpose so that I respect everybody's time. It forces us to work and stay to a time frame. So I think before we move on to the next thing, does next Wednesday work for everybody for us to follow up next steps?
I'm checking my calendar.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm good.
Yay.
Works for me.
And I think Kathleen could too.
I think so too.
Okay. You know what I just realized really quick? I need to get a picture of us. So you guys want to smile? Okay. You know, the really important things.
Susie knows me.
I know. Oh gosh, yeah. Yeah. No, I'm just thinking of all the fun we're gonna have here in where are we going? New Orleans.
New Orleans. Oh my Lord. Leslie, have you bought your ticket yet?
We are not in a position that I can do that.
I know. I get it. I'm sorry. I forgot. Yes, you hadn't bought it yet.
We need to help you earn the ticket. Maybe we can help you sell enough stuff that you can go. Because I get that.
It's gonna be insane. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, so do we want to so we could hammer out the expectations through messaging, or do you want to hammer them out now?
So we got 5 minutes left, so it's up to you.
So we can either do expectations or we can move on to the progression from free to paid.
I feel like I need to see our mission that Amber is going to send out before we do expectations, because I feel like that's going to really lead to
Okay.
what the expectations are. So maybe we can do
Here,
that.
I'm doing it right. I'll put it in the thing. Your chat. Can you guys see your chat?
Yeah.
How fast can I type?
Faster.
Okay.
Oh, you sent it on Messenger.
Yeah.
Oh, yay. Okay.
Is that okay?
Mhm.
Okay.
I like it.
I do too. Do you want to think about expectations and do that over Messenger?
I think we can.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And we could, if we all kind of jotted down some ideas, then we could hash them out next time when we chat. What are you guys feeling like? Do you feel like you want to do a paid challenge right out of the gates? Do you feel like you want to do something free to invite lots of people to? Does anybody have an opinion?
I like the idea of inviting and doing free first.
Mm-hmm.
And how I feel like maybe 5 days, and we do 5 like really strong, like we bring our A game for those 5 days so that they really get a chance to see, but that we don't give all the content away. I was almost thinking if we did something like that, maybe we each take a day to kind of share our story so they could kind of connect with us and why we're here. But I feel like each day they'd need to take something away too that benefited them.
Okay. So, I mean, we can try and come up with like what we all have to bring to the table, and we can try and look at those things that we're bringing and see which one we think we would give as our free ones we think we might save for a paid challenge. Is that what you're thinking?
Mm-hmm.
Can you say that again?
So we all kind of come up with ideas and things that we would bring to the group as like, these are things that have helped or could help. And then we look at those lists and see like, which are the ones that we should kind of give away as the freebie teasers, and which are the things that we should save for the
Okay.
media content of the challenge. What do you think? It's just a brainstorm.
So that means I have to have multiple things to offer?
Yeah, but
Oh, you have so much. It's just not going off the top of your head. I mean, it's something that you'll have to think about over the course of some time and see what else you can think of that you do on a regular basis. From our Snapchat filters to our late night messaging conversations of friends, and then just fun booze, or like you drink your water in your fancy wine cup, you know, when you're doing gigs, so you can still have that element without having the calories. And you know, those are all really great tips, and it doesn't have to be huge, life shattering, you know. I don't know.
well, and I feel like we could almost like with each day touch on a different, like, you know, on one of the days we could talk about personal development and books and things like that. One of the days we really could talk about how Shakeology is a good tool, but not like inundate them with Beachbody stuff right off the bat. But, you know, maybe do the first couple of days of other things and then incorporate, you know, Shakeology for one day and maybe following a program. 21-day fix. I think, Leslie, did you do 21-day fix? That's what you did, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
She's doing Country Heat now.
that's right. You girls that can dance.
I
You
can't.
could too. You could too.
Okay, fine. Yeah. If you could only see, I've done it. I've done like half of Country Heat twice, and I'm just like, my self-confidence goes like